For us as Christians, it's important to care for creation and to act justly.
And the question is, how can we put that into practice in our lives and activities? Our life here is marked by a great variety of challenges caused by climate change.
We notice that there is growing division in society and that activists, particularly those working for peace, are becoming increasingly perplexed. We are living in a world in which success is measured by financial profit. That is harmful to both humans and the environment. Is there no better alternative?
How can we preserve peace in our society and diversity of religion and culture?
On the North Sea island of Harlichhoge, we have storm tides every year and are wondering how long normal life will still be possible here.
We are looking for answers to the urgent questions of our time. Fundamental systemic questions are at stake, but also changes to individual lifestyles. Practical projects and initiatives can help us to keep up our courage. So a broad network of churches, regional council of churches, initiatives and individual groups has come together under the leadership of the Council of Christian Churches in Germany. We invite you to join in this nationwide campaign with the theme Living Hope for the Earth, Justice, Peace, Creation. People were concerned by similar questions back in the 1980s. That is why in 1983 Christians in the German Democratic Republic proposed holding a peace council. This idea was taken up that year at the 6th Assembly of the World Council of Churches in Vancouver, Canada.
We appeal to the churches to declare unequivocally, as has been done by the Central Committee before us, that the production and deployment as well as the use of nuclear weapons are a crime against humanity and must be condemned on ethical and theological grounds.
A lot of middle-class people today are searching for a new spirituality.
And if we cannot embody God's promises as people who bring the gospel to the poor, then we must not speak about the poor.
And the kinds of policies, both economic and military, and in terms of human rights, of many of our nations, are things which we have to expose.
The member churches together agreed to start a conciliar process for justice, peace and the integrity of creation. Many churches and initiatives joined this global movement. The Council of Christian Churches in the GDR invited the congregations to contribute their topics to it.
Es war sehr aufregend. Es hatten sich so viele Fragen und Probleme in der DDR.
It was very stimulating. There were many pent-up questions and problems in the GDR society, but the state suppressed discussions. People were not allowed to talk about them, but everyone wanted to talk about them, so that the churches, in an amazing way, I think it was the first time since the Reformation, faced up to them squarely and said, "We will offer a platform."
People expressed their hopes and wishes on the topic A Hope Learns to Walk.
And if I remember correctly, over 10,000 responses came in. So there were masses of letters, sometimes a simple postcard and sometimes 20 or 40 pages of paper written by different working groups.
The Ecumenical Assembly then took place in 1988 and 1989. They were an arena for discussing political and ethical questions on behalf of the whole society.
Das ökumenische Miteinander aller Kirchen hat sich dann erst
The Ecumenical Fellowship of all churches developed as the whole conference or assembly unfolded. For me, it was one of the highlights to experience that Christians can speak with one voice on a certain specific topic.
These church-inspired civil movements then contributed in a special way to the peaceful revolution in the GDR. The concerns of the conciliar process are still relevant today. Justice, peace, and creation, climate justice belong close together. That is the hope that also motivates many people to take practical action.
We belong to the Biotal farm community and the Mühlrad Christian life community. It is important to us on the farm to also integrate those who don't find it so easy to get a job because they have different limitations. And we try to do that here.
Unsere Kirchengemeinde in Pforzheim erstellt eine Gemeinde.
Our church congregation in Pforzheim draws up a common good balance sheet to analyze the impact of our actions on the whole of creation. For example, in our 14 childcare centers, we want to offer organic, fair trade food from the region. All these processes of change are very promising for the future.
The two examples show what is possible, and there are also many impressive examples on the topic of peace. For example, the Evangelical Lutheran Church of Hanover has initiated 8 places of peace as spiritual and communication centers.
The Waltersburger Mühle is one place of peace at which biblical spirituality, commitment to justice, and sustainability go hand in hand. One of our narratives is the feeding of the 5,000 from the Gospels. It constantly inspires us that where people get involved, life becomes more colorful and pathways and projects become possible that I alone could never even imagine before.
Neben den bundesweiten gibt es auch
Besides the German examples, there are also many European instances of dedicated church work. For example, Church and Peace is an ecumenical peace church network made up of many churches, communities, and peace organizations, such as Communities Peacemakers, which runs projects in Israel and Palestine, but also the Evangelical Lutheran Church in Bavaria, which is involved in northern Iraq.
Jizra project, which was started by Kapni here in the Nineveh Plain region, aims to promote religious freedom and inter-religious dialogue, empowering women and crafting visions for the future with the younger generation. In spite of major challenges in our work, we are optimistic as we are firmly convinced that inter-religious dialogue and cooperation between different religions can lead to positive societal change.
Climate change is affecting us all. We have to act together. So, the Center of Global Ministries and Ecumenical Relations of the Evangelical Lutheran Church in northern Germany and the east of Lake Victoria Diocese in Tanzania have started a new kind of partnership on the topic of climate justice. Congregations and church organizations in Germany and Tanzania exchange their knowledge and skills on climate action.
We, as a congregation on an island, are involved in this exchange program with a partner congregation in Tanzania, because we are particularly inspired to think globally but act locally. This project has the different generations at the local level first making one another aware of the issues and then entering into direct exchange with the partner congregation in Tanzania, interested in how they tackle the global climate crisis, what they do at the local level, and whether we can learn from one another.
I believe we can become more resilient.
I believe we can become more resilient with respect to climate change by, for example, planting trees and passing on knowledge About environmental topics, we are very happy about the partnership on Hallig-Hoge in Germany, as we have similar problems and we can swap ideas for climate action.
Ideas of fighting against the climatic crisis.
I'm particularly pleased that we as Christians can discuss the way we understand what the Bible says about stewardship of creation. When we talk about the topics here in our German groups and also discuss them with Tanzania, what does that actually mean? With our trust in God, can we have hope, or may we even have expectations?
We invite you to become part of the campaign Living Hope for the Earth, Justice, Peace, Creation.
Gerechtigkeit, Frieden, Schöpfung.
What gives you hope? What story of hope encourages you in your personal life, but also in politics and society? We invite you to come to Dresden from 13 to 15 September. There you will meet over 400 people from the whole of Germany and also from other parts of the world. You will meet kindred spirits who, like you, want to do something practical for justice, peace, creation, climate justice. You will meet like-minded people who want to experience community and share hope. We look forward to seeing you there.